Now that we're quite comfortable editing by using the source monitor, I want to use this tutorial to show you how we do something called ripple editing. Initially, I'll show you the problem that is solved by using ripple editing. Perhaps the quickest way of editing once we're on the timeline is to roll your cursor over a division line, either at the beginning or at the end of a clip, and you'll notice that as you do, the cursor changes to that different shape. It's a little bit hard to describe what that shape is, other than saying that this is the trim tool. Actually, just to make it a little bit easier to see, I'm going to zoom in. In fact, if I place my cursor here, as I zoom in, wherever the cursor is placed, i.e. this current time indicator position, well, as I zoom in, as you can see, we zoom in around that central point. Okay, now you might be able to see this a little bit better now. With my clip number 2 here, as I move the cursor to the beginning point, then you'll see the trim tool points to the right. If I'd moved it slightly to the left, it would be picking up the end point of the previous clip. So notice what happens now. As I'm moving to the right, left clicking and dragging to the right, you can see that I'm actually doing just that. I'm trimming away from this part of our clip. And you'll also notice up in our program monitor, not only do we see the time code, but we see whereabouts exactly we are as we trim away. Okay, and once we disengage, we have trimmed and made that now the new starting position. However, that is the problem, isn't it? We've now got that blank area. Now I know we could redo what we did in previous tutorials where we rubber band around all the remaining clips and then drag across to fill that gap. However, I want to show you a couple of methods of clearing that space there and automatically moving all the clips that follow to fill that space. If you have used this trim tool and left this space, what you could do is right click in that space and then simply click on that option, Ripple Delete. Okay, and that removes that blank area, consequently moving all the following clips by that amount. Let me show you that again, but with the first clip this time. Moving my cursor over the end there, you'll be able to see that the trim tool now points to the left. It's a little bit fiddly, admittedly, but you'll soon get the hang of it, rolling your cursor over the division line. As soon as you see the direction of arrow, you'll know which way you can trim. So by left clicking here and then dragging to the left, I'm trimming away the end portion of this first clip. Once more though, we are left with that blank space, so I'll right click and choose Ripple Delete. Okay, so that's what we can do, but there is another method of overcoming this, and is in fact a quicker method. Work your way over to your tools palette, and then, well, as you can see as you roll over any of these tools, you'll see a little pop-up informing you exactly what that tool does, and you'll also see in brackets the shortcut. Well, if you work your way down to this third one, Ripple Edit tool with the shortcut B, and then select it, you'll see now that as you roll over a clip, that division line there, that the cursor changes shape once more, and that's to indicate that you've chosen this particular tool, the Ripple Edit tool. Notice what happens now when I left click and drag to the right. Yes, I'm removing the beginning of this clip in exactly the same way as we did a moment ago, but notice in the program monitor, we now see a split view. We see the end of our first clip and we see the beginning, and this dynamically updates as we edit, so that when I disengage now, our second clip automatically snaps to our first clip. We're not left with a blank range. Okay, so that's the Ripple Edit tool, and that's how convenient it is when we want to remove portions of our clips, even once we've got them on the timeline. Of course, it stands to reason it works the other way as well. I'll go to the end of our clip, remembering we've still got this tool selected, and then, because my direction of travel indicated by those arrows is pointing to the left, this means I'm now trimming the end. Okay, superb. Once we disengage, our following clip snaps up against it. Perfect. Okay, so that's the Ripple Edit tool then, the third one down on our tools palette. So I'm going to finish up here, and we'll look at other editing tools in the next tutorial.